Hello, everybody. It's Alessandro from Innovate with Impact, hashtag small relief. I'm here with Thomas today. Hey, Thomas.
Hey.
Thomas is working in an extremely exciting startup called Expense Robot, which we'll be talking about in just a second. Thomas and I have met through the Innosuisse network, which I'm very grateful for. And we've had, several really cool meetings and got to know each other. Obviously, much better before the current crisis, but also in this crisis. But before we get started, Thomas, if you don't mind, would you please introduce yourself and Expense Robot?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for being part of this interview, Alessandro. Very cool opportunity. I mean, very few words about myself. I'm having more a accounting CFO background, so more from the technical side. But I was always very interested in the IT environment and stuff like that. And as the opportunity came around, like one and a half years ago, to start with this project, I was straight away excited about the opportunity to build up something that we think has quite a bit of potential to in the market to succeed. Well, about Expense Robot, as said, about 2 years back, we were checking for our all employers some expense tools, and well, we were not really satisfied with the options we had to choose from. We were thinking in a digital world, you have to be truly digital, and you shouldn't be. Well, the pain was really the manual stuff everyone had to do, and we really wanted to get rid of all this manual processing and all those kind of things, and that was the main trigger to build up Expense Robot. And what our promise is now, we can actually process expenses within seconds. So from a picture or from a data file to the booking in the financial systems, we use only systems, and most competitors still have a lot of manual tasks within the process. So that's our USP.
Mm-hmm. It's a very cool and exciting startup, and I have seen your solution at work. Obviously, you showed it to me, and I was really impressed by how well it works and how all the rules and everything is, automatically putting things into place in the background. So definitely worth looking into. So we're all kind of in the same boat, right? You and I, we have been on lockdown, and how has this affected you? How has this affected your business? And would you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, from a personal perspective, it's certainly completely different. We have 3 kids at home, so my wife and myself are taking care of them, working at the same time. Luckily, my wife is not working 100%. That helps, but still, I mean, it changes quite a bit. Well, as for everyone, nothing special on that side. On the business side, well, completely different story from very exciting times and really well-running economy into a crash. Probably the world has not seen that much before. So we certainly felt the impact, especially at the beginning, where as probably all startups and all companies around the globe, it was just a big crash in the end. So everything was, or a lot of clients just decided to stop projects. Even implementations were stopped and delayed. But as I said, I think every company had to deal with it. It's always the thing is to take the best out of it, even though it's a really bad situation. Mm-hmm. That's what you always try to do, right?
Yeah, you and I were talking a little bit before the call, and it's so essential. I mean, you guys are obviously a highly digital company, and your focus is all on digital. And so even if, there's a little bit of a holdback right now, there's no doubt in my mind that will start accelerating and start kicking in at some point as well. And also maybe some advice for the people and the companies out there. Right now is not the time. Of course, if you have certain restrictions that don't allow you to move forward, that's no discussion. But if you somehow have an opportunity and you can really start manifesting and moving forward into the digital space, right now is the time to do it.
Yeah, I have the same feeling. I mean, in the end, we even had customers that had two little laptops for their employees to work from home. So in Switzerland in general, I think we are just at the start of digitalization. There's so much more potential, well, to truly digitize the companies, and also, well, it is also a huge opportunity. You see now what could be improved, and it's a time, if you have obviously the cash, you can invest now. You probably find better talent now than a few months ago on the market. You probably have more time to do projects, to digitize some processes now than a few months ago, when when the economy was running hot, and a lot of, yeah, a lot of stuff had to be done in a daily business. But on the flip side, the cash is the main driver, right? If you don't have cash, that doesn't help. So obviously, this advice would only help for companies that have a certain cash level to be, yeah, to be able to invest for the future years. So that's always.
Absolutely. I see two perspectives, right? So obviously what you're saying, 100% agree. If you need to have the cash to invest, if you don't, that's a whole different situation. If you don't have the cash, try to figure out, some level of creativity that will help your business, sustain or figure out new potential or new opportunities. I've seen a bunch of very small businesses and startups that have shown an extraordinary amount of creativity, and they are now actually doing okay. And we're talking about startups that 2 months ago thought they were going to have to close shop, and now all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but obviously through their hard work, it looks like they're not only going to be sustaining business, but they're also thriving. And that had nothing to do with having a lot of money. It was just creative solutions and helping people out.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I'm in general a very positive human
Mm.
being. So you just need to see the positive stuff and the opportunities, rather than the threats, and risk something. In the end, if you do nothing, you're gonna lose anyway. If you
Mm.
risk something, you probably have a better chance to survive in the long run and to be more successful. So I fully support that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I love what you were saying earlier, and I've heard this also from one or two different startups also, that they're currently going out there and they're looking at new offerings, new people to work with, maybe people that they would not have been able to work with before, so that there are opportunities out there. And an important point as well is that if you are in need of help, it doesn't hurt to ask. I think for small businesses and startups, this is the time to reach out to your network. This was also one of the reasons why I started creating this video series, because we need to kind of help each other and bring exposure and have this conversation and see how we can work together and figure things out.
Yeah. Fully agree on that. I mean, you obviously have a good product in the end. That's always that always it's always a must, right? But I see it exactly the same. I mean, in the end, if you have confidence in your product, then you will always find one or another solution.
I'm very excited about what it is that you guys do. I think it's definitely a need, and I have no doubt in my mind there's a lot of great opportunities coming your way. Which leads me to my last question. You said you're at home with your wife and your children.
Uh,
How does that feel in lockdown? And what's the first thing you guys are going to be doing once you get out of this lockdown situation?
well, I think we can be pretty happy to be not in Italy or Spain when there is a real lockdown. With kids, if they would have to stay inside, that would have been probably a horror month for us. At least they could go outside and play a little bit. Well, and the weather was also did do a favor to us as well. So I think overall, I mean, the situation is what it is. We are lucky that we didn't get into a full lockdown, but what we certainly like to do again when everything is open, like to go to the zoo, or do stuff like the kids always want to do. So at the moment, you have always to tell the kids, hey, sorry, we can't go there, we can't go there, we can't go there. But at least, I mean, it could be worse if you're located in Spain or Italy where you have a full lockdown. So don't
No,
complain about the situation.
There's something really cool that I learned. I don't know. I don't have kids, so but in an interview, somebody told me, and maybe this is going to be of help. But they said psychologically, humans and especially also children, look, when you measure their brain waves and their happiness levels, they are as excited or even not more excited when you talk to them about trips that are going to happen in the future. And so this person was saying they have children, and he was saying that essentially what they do is they plan trips with their children, and so they are kind of looking forward to it, and it keeps like the excitement going, and it keeps them happy. So I don't know, maybe something to look into.
Yeah, definitely. That's very good advice. I mean, the two younger one, they're probably too young to do
Yeah.
that, but the older one, it could be good motivation to her.
Well, Thomas, thank you so much again. I very much look forward to hopefully seeing you again soon in person. I really appreciate our collaboration, and I wish you only the best. And I look forward to our next exchange.
Thanks. Same to me. We will see us soon. Hopefully,
Uh,
the lockdown is over in a few days or few weeks.
let's see, right?
Yeah,
All right.
let's see.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Thomas.
Thank you.
Talk to
Bye.
you soon. Ciao.